Welcome back to Groundhog Day, or Left 4 Dead Garage. Like I've always said, I feel like I do things twice around here. Sometimes it's self-inflicted, other times it's probably self-inflicted. But back on old Dirty Bob, the 73 C10. It feels like I just did upper and lower control arms on it 2 weeks ago. Actually, that's exactly when I did upper control arms on it. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Fresh alignment, all that. And I said in that video, I sure wish that I would have just went ahead and bought the big brakes and did rear disc and all that stuff, because I'm going to keep throwing parts at this garbage until it's nice garbage. This truck's going to stick around a while, so why not? So what I got is I bought the big CPP kit. I mean, this is just a few pieces out of the kit. It is 13-inch front rotors, 12-inch rear rotors. It has Cadillac Eldorado style rear calipers with mechanical park brake. It comes with an 1 1/8 Corvette style master with the combination valve or proportioning valve, whatever you want to call it. These trucks, that valve is down there. I know they probably can't see it because it's dark, but just trust me, it's down there. So that means these hard lines will have to change. So it comes with all that. It's I just found out that I don't have the braided brake lines that it's supposed to come with. And I just got off the phone with Summit. We're working that out. We'll get it sorted out one way or another. I'll just keep going until I need lines. These may actually work. The only problem I may run into is the rear. So I don't know what I'll do there. Luckily, what's on my work schedule for Monday morning is this Suburban over here, so my truck can sit right there where it's at for a day or two. Also, so this is what's left of the kit, not opened, that I've opened and looked through. Rear studs, some sort of extension for the e-brake, and I also got Ride Tech chassis braces. So what I'm going to do is the front is going to be a video, the rear is going to be a video, and that'll include, I've got a booster. I've had this for months. The truck's needed a booster badly, so perfect time. I don't know if I'm going to do the master and the lines and all on the same video as the rear, or just save it and do a third video, and then I will do a separate video on those chassis braces. So for this one, we're just going to knock out the front, and these things come loaded. I've actually got CPP brakes on my Impala. They have, I believe it's a 13-inch rotor as well, but they have wheelwood calipers, and they came completely mounted. And these are 2.5-inch drop spindles. I'm going to lose a 1/2 inch of drop, which kind of worries me because I'm afraid the truck's going to be squatted. So I'll address that when I have to address that. And then with their spindle and rotor setup, this actually brings the wheel in 5/8 per side. So it'll bring my track width in, it'll give me more tire to fender clearance, and that's kind of what I'm after. Honestly, I probably should have addressed this right here instead of brakes, you know, because I'm sweating. So I guess work on that next. So get this thing in the air and pull the wheels off of it again, take it apart again, and hopefully the tie rods on these spindles is the same. I got a feeling it might change my toe, but I can set the toe. The camber was what I really needed those guys to set with the alignment. So anyway, let's take it apart again. Saturday, it's July 4th actually. So got this thing in the air. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll sit here for 30 minutes thinking about putting it back together and just doing it later, because I'm kind of irritated. Don't have my brake hoses, and I'm afraid these won't work. And if they don't work, then I'm in a pickle. You know what I mean? I do have some braided lines in there that I've collected over the years that I may have to use, or I could use. I feel like my get after it got out of here or something. But I'm already to this point. Might as well at least do the front and a few other things while it's in here, because looking at my schedule, I don't know when I'll get back to it. Let's dive in, take it apart. Well, I got good news. I found the brake hoses. They were wadded up in the plastic for this rotor, and I never opened the rotor. Like if I'd have opened the rotor for the beginning of the video, I'd found them. So I think my get after it came back. I'm gonna say this and it's gonna go off the rails. It should be a cut and dry swap here. The only thing that concerns me is if the tie rod location is different and my toe's gonna be out, and I've talked about that. So that's the only thing that kind of bums me out. But another thing I'm not real thrilled about is the weight of this. This ain't a SCCA autocross whatever truck, but I kind of wish I would have went wheelwood now, but the wheelwood didn't pull the wheels in, and I have clearance issues, so, and I don't see me buying wheels and tires for this truck anytime soon. And if that was the case, then I would just get some with the better backspace, and would have probably went with the wheelwood. But hey, like I do things two times at least. You never know. We might put wheelwoods on it in a month. I'm just kidding. I have no wheelwood money. So let's see. We'll pull the brake hose and make a big brake line or brake fluid mess. I got the cotter pin out of the upper ball joint and the tie rod. We'll knock those loose. The good thing about this is I never know what project I'll have next. So I'm gonna take this whole drop spindle, these calipers, these pads, fresh bearing pack. The fresh bearing pack was 2 weeks ago, but the calipers, the hoses, and the pads and the spindles only have like 9,000 miles on them. So I'll take these and stick them on the shelf, because there's no way I won't have another C10 in my life. And as soon as I get one of those, another one, I want to lower it. So we'll stick those on the shelf for later use. And well, let's get after it.
Competition Products, your source for hardcore engine parts for street, strip, and oval track. Our free catalog is packed with hundreds of product lines from the best-known manufacturers in the performance industry. Lowest prices guaranteed. Free shipping and handling on all orders over $149 in the continental U.S. Need expert advice? Our knowledgeable staff is just a phone call away. Competition Products, race parts sold by racers since 1970.
All right, it went right on there. The bad thing, I cannot see diddly. That right there, I cannot see to put that top cotter pin in for nothing. I know, like the light's washing out my flashlight. It is wild. I think what I'm gonna do is drill a hole here and then put me a P-clamp there. That way it'll hold the brake line safely, because I'd hate to let it wander up in there. That way it doesn't move around a whole lot. I mean, it wouldn't get smashed in this unless, well, the shock won't even let it droop all the way out to that bump stop. So maybe it'll be all right. I'll tighten it up and see if I can kind of manipulate it to where it'll stay like right there. But I did find this. So it's got dual bleeders. I guess it's the same caliper for both sides probably. That took a hit in shipping. It's not messed up the casting, but it's it's pretty much whacked the bleeder. I hope that doesn't leak. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this to the bottom one and hope it doesn't leak. Maybe there's I can find a replacement. Maybe I can find a replacement at O'Reilly's if I have to. I don't necessarily know if these factory ones are the same, but they could be. I heard these calipers were GMT 800 calipers, so that may be, but I don't remember them having dual bleeders, so I don't know. And these rotors are actually floating rotors. This hub is separate from the rotor. That's why it's kind of. And then you can get this set up in a 5 on 4 3/4 pattern as well, maybe even 5 on 4 1/2. But I went 5 on 5 so I could use my wheels. It does look better. Hopefully it works better. So we'll grab a line wrench and get this rubber hose off here, and then we'll get this started. And these have little clips to hold against the frame. I'd actually lost the nuts for this, and so those were, well, you know, halfway done. It's my truck. I can do that sort of stuff. Get this buttoned up and I'll jump to the other side. This is going rather smooth, so maybe I'll have time to do the back and the frame brake. Boy, it's a hot one in here. I mean, I know this wall is soaking up heat, but I'm working on this side, and that thing says 110, and it's only 9:25 Saturday morning. But I got both sides done, brake lines on. The worst part of this is actually the brake lines. The clip that holds it to the frame is super snug. I would suggest taking a hammer and thinning it out just a little. And then the easiest way to get them on there if you're still having trouble is take a piece of 2x4 or wood or something like this and stick it, like say we're putting the brake line right here. Stick the wood on the frame and take you a curved pry bar. That way you can push up against the wood and shove the clip down, if that makes sense. And that's how I did it. Rotisserie chicken on this side of the shop, I gotta turn every 4 minutes, that way I don't get cooked too far on one side. But I think what I'm gonna do is, it's still early, so I guess I'm just gonna keep on keeping at it here. The next thing I'm gonna do, since I'm in the front, I'm gonna go ahead and put my frame braces on, and this will be finally a short video, a short to the point video, and I'm just gonna break it up in 3 videos. So CPP, I'll share the full kit part number in the description. I'm not sponsored by no means, way whatsoever. Unfortunately, I'm not. I do get offers to promote stuff, but it's junk, you know? Like junk. Stuff I'll never use. So thanks for watching a very hot Left 4 Dead garage. I'm gonna get back at this thing, and we'll see you on the next one.